To set up one of these quizzes is exactly the same as setting up the other sort of quiz, except that some of the settings will be different to favour what we're trying to do. These quizzes are especially useful for insisting that a student learn some of the basic things that they need to do before that you can get on to the more advanced things. And the example of how to write a thesis statement here is typical of that type of activity. So I'm looking at the place where our quiz is, and I'll click on it to open it up. And we come to this page where we can either attempt the quiz or, what we want to do, look at the settings. So I open the administration block. You notice that I've made mine as a tab on the side just by clicking on this arrow. And administration, when you're in a quiz, automatically goes to quiz administration first, and the more normal things are hidden down the bottom. So in this video we're going to look at the settings and the quiz itself. The settings is the container, so let's click on that and look at it first. And this is the general container for the quiz. We've got a name, we've got a description. These settings here we're going to do in a different way, and the first one I want to show you is timing. I actually leave this untouched, but you might be interested in experimenting with giving a time limit for some of your quizzes. To do that, you just enable it, and then you can set whatever you want there. The next thing to think about is the grade. We want to make sure that the number of attempts is unlimited, because if they can't do this at first, we want them just to try and try again until finally they've understood this thing, because this quiz we use for real basics. The next thing is the grading method. For the other quiz we used first attempt. This time we want to make sure it's highest grade, because we don't care how bad they are when they begin this activity, we just want to make sure that by the time they've finished, they really know it. And for that reason, we've got to set the grade to pass. We want them to get 100%, but this isn't set as a percentage. We need to go back quickly and look at what the total for the quiz was. Well, this mark needs to be the same as the maximum for the course, so not 100% but 10. As the quiz was 10, I'll give 10 to pass. That's full marks, but full marks is very reasonable for a quiz that's this easy. Finally, the question behavior. This whole thing is based on feedback, and we want to make sure that the questions have deferred feedback. So like this, although it feels possibly counterintuitive, they don't get the feedback till they finish the quiz. Then they look at their feedback, think what they've done, and try again. Once those are set up like that, we can just save, return to course, and the quiz is ready to run. Now let's look more closely at the questions themselves, and I go to Edit Quiz. My questions are all here, and to look at them I'll just come into this gear wheel to edit the questions. Question 1, this is the quiz that you've just done. I've got my question here. The default mark doesn't really matter. And this next box is general feedback. So I've just written a few comments about thesis statements in general. That will be once everything has finished. And then I've got the answer section. So choice number 1, there is no outline in the essay. That's the correct answer. And then for the feedback, I've told them good answer. There is a clear signpost, and I've written it again just to be very clear for the students who don't follow. and the question is answered, yes, they should. For my second choice, there is no signpost for the thesis statement. This is an incorrect answer. And so for feedback, if they choose this option, I've written, look again, there is a signpost, and I've written it out. Spoon feeding, I know, but it's not so insulting in the middle of a quiz when you're rushing through. Similarly, with the third choice, this is another incorrect option. The question is not answered, there's no position. If they choose this option, they will get the feedback, look again, there is a position, yes they should. And once you've set it all up, of course, just click Save Changes.